Bonjour. Now you all know by now this is my favourite part of the week. A mixed bag. New comic releases. I've got a mixed bag because I've got some older comic releases here. But I was at Comic Con last weekend in London, and was talking to a distributor, and I'll put my hands up. Distributor, a publisher. Put my hands up. Never heard of them before. Blue Fox, and I've got a couple of their. One of them distributed through Image Top Cow, Blue Fox Comics, and a graphic novel that I picked up just to try them out because it looked really interesting stuff. They've got tons of stuff. I'll put a link in the in my page if you want to go on their website and have a look because I wouldn't be mentioning it if they weren't any good. So, but I will be doing a deep dive. It's not a latest release, but it's new to me, so I'm allowed to do it because it's my channel. Before I get into it, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to thank you all if you are watching me, liking, subscribing, particularly you sexy, mad, insane subscribers. You know I love you the most. So I've got, and you know what? I know I don't normally do it. You know I love talking about comics, and you know I love it all. Well, not love it all, but you know I love the hobby. But I've got a whinge of the week. Yeah, sorry. Hopefully it won't be an ongoing series, that bit. You know, like cover of the week, I love because we're talking about good covers. But whinge of the week, I don't really want to do that every week. Anyway, let's get into the good stuff. Cheeky little number to kick off with. AWA. Now I always try their stuff out. This was a good first issue, and not what you're expecting from a comic called Red Light. And after you turn the first couple of pages, it's all about sex robots. But there's a nice little twist towards the end where you thought it was going and might be rolling your eyes. It doesn't. That was a good opener. Good opener. This continues to be a very, very good read, and this is the best issue yet. Issue 4. It's just ramped up as they're introducing the broader storyline and the different characters. That's been rolled out really, really nicely, and the artwork on it. Max Fuimara on the artwork. It really does suit the story, or whether or not they're both getting right into it. This is how I love my Batman this week. This story, this artist, and this part of the storyline. It's what I love. Is everything you like about Batman. We're going to have a deep dive on that, and obviously, I mean, I haven't done it for every issue, but every issue has been superb, and we're going to have a look. We're going to reminisce about the old days, John Buscema, by looking at Delator's artwork on that. But the storyline as well. What is it? Zub? What's his name? Jim? Is it Jim? Oh, you know what my memory's like. There's always something, isn't there? I should remember all these names, shouldn't I? Yes, Jim Zub and Rob Delator on the art. Absolutely superb. That'll make a cracking graphic novel if people aren't picking up the floppies. Titan have done a proper job on that, and I think I've mentioned it before. Right, so the first issue from Blue Fox Comics that I picked up. Now, I think this is on issue 6, or I just picked up the first issue because you never know, officer. But I thought I will try it out. It looked decent, artwork nice, etc. So I picked that one up. We're going to have a deep dive on that. Because I am going to be picking up the rest of it via their website. And this little baby here as well that I picked up, which I won't be doing a much of a deep dive on because it's mostly silent panels and like an art style. It's set in the dark. It's about when all the stars go out. So when it's physically in front of you, I've really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed it. But we'll have a little chat about it as we go. So I'm going to do a deep dive or quick look at those. And these are the also rans. And I know also Rans, I always say every week, these are the ones that I can't do a deep dive on, but either I've done before or Doctor Strange. Now, it's been a bit, I've got to admit, it's been up and down, to be fair. 9 issues. It gets good and then it kind of plateaus again and they change the artist. But when McKay and Pascal Ferry are on this, I really enjoy it, and I'm enjoying what he's doing with the relationship in a way between Clea and Doctor Strange. I'm really enjoying it. But I don't know, it just seems to lose focus every now and again. But I enjoyed this issue and where they are in the storyline. I'm putting this in the also rans because I've enjoyed it as a first issue, but I'm just not sure if I could be enjoying it more if there was more of a linear storyline. I'm not sure if Hickman is all over the place for this. I'm just not sure, but it didn't mean I didn't enjoy the comic. That's all I'm saying, and it's an issue 1, so it is worth a go, and it is worth. I will be going for issues 2 and 3 just to see if it all kind of tries to come into some kind of cohesive package where I can just get my head around. Well, just get my head around it and care about what's going on and what the end game is. I picked up a graphic novel from a Blaze on the recommendation of Mickey at Comics and Fantasy, Hornchurch, Essex, where I pick up all my new stuff. So I've had my eye on a Blaze to see if anything else come along, and it's almost dead. Again, you think it's going to be the same. When I first looked at it, you think it's going to be the same old zombie thing, but it's not. I think they've got the night again, just enough of a little twist on it to pique my interest for issue 2. And I've got to get, look, there was no Darkwing Duck, but Nega Duck issue 2. Come on, guys, just have a laugh. Just let yourself go. Just let yourself go and relax, man, and have a laugh. In all seriousness. They're consistently of good quality. Dynamite, I think, are just doing a good job with the license that they've got from Disney to do this. I've just really, they're doing a great job with the writing. It's got to be of a certain style, hasn't it? And so is the artwork, and I think they're nailing it on both. But I won't do a deep dive. I'm not sure if everyone shares my sense of humour on those. And then just quickly, just bear with me, just a whinge of the week. But behind this glorious variant cover from Marvel this week, this is just buyer beware. And I don't know where I even said to Paul, who's the manager at Comics and Fantasy, I even said to him, the fact that I don't know the writer and artist is makes me think like they're bringing no baggage, and I flip through it. Oh, okay, I like Black Widow and Captain America's in it. But I tell you what, this is. I've got 6, 7, 8 pages in, and I've got to say, it's like it's been written by an 8-year-old that's grown up on Phase 5 of Marvel films and Disney Plus TV shows. The dialogue is atrocious. I know it's a comic book, but there's a way people talk, and this ain't it. And it's just quiptastic. I thought White Widow was supposed to, I don't know, perhaps I got it all wrong, but absolute drivel of a comic. But I've got to say, what a beautiful cover. I mean, I wouldn't normally waste a comic bag on that, or I'd use an old one that you know, like when you order an old comic on eBay and it comes through in an old bag, I'd put it in that. But if only for that, just to preserve that cover, glorious cover. But behind it, you know, when like you get an Alex Ross cover on a comic, and then you look inside, it's just an absolute joke of a comic. But perhaps I wanted too serious a take on the character. I don't know, and I didn't see the film, and I just went in blind, to be fair. But perhaps the character is quiptastic, and she makes jokes every, you know, even in the middle, like Spider-Man. but worse, much worse. Even worse than that is even worse than Zeb Wells Spider-Man. Yeah, I went there. That's enough whinging. Let's do a deep dive of the good stuff after the scroll. So, let's get right into it. Red light. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get into trouble with this one from YouTube because some of the illustrations are a bit cheeky in more ways than one. But again, nice artwork. A story that you think you know where it's going. Set in the future. Actually, I won't give any. I'm going to skip a couple of pages because it will give a massive spoiler, and it's right at the beginning. And I kind of just want to give you the rough gist of this book. We're introduced to the characters. We're introduced to obviously a sex worker. It's set in the future, in this futuristic brothel. Here's one of her regulars. So we're getting a bit of backstory from him. And then we're introduced to other characters like this kind of medic kind of character there. And then we're introduced to the guy who owns the place. All we know him as is Mister. So, like I say, you think you know what is, that it's going to be of a type, but it isn't. It is well worth. It was a good read, an intriguing opening to a great story. Obviously, I'm going to try and I'm trying to find a page without any naughtiness on it. And then at the end of the comic, we're introduced to a younger character who's also there, but she isn't a sex worker, and kind of like the intrigue rolls on from there. Right, I'm trying not to give anything. I think I might have inadvertently give it away anyway, and I don't know if the cover does, and I'm trying to hide it. But yeah, actually, anyway, it's a good story, good artwork. Also, what I did like at the back, from the writer and the artists, just these little letters. They call them red letters, but it was just nice to get the writer's perspective on how she approached the story and the story she wanted to tell, and alongside with the artist as well, and what she'd also done before actually, which would be worth checking out because she's a good artist, and it was a good team up, definitely a good team up. Really enjoyed it. Next up, and AWA, by the way, they are always worth checking out. Whether or not you pick them up, they are always worth a glance to see what they're up to, like in any given title. The Sacrificers. This absolutely was. I mean, there was three. This is one of the comics in contention for Book of the Week this week. Although it was a quiet week, what good stuff there was. This artwork, Max View, is beautiful. And what I do like is where they don't need to say anything, they do not. This sequential artwork, if you follow many of my videos, you know it's what I love. And when the artist gets it, when these panels just move, they pop. The colouring as well is worth mentioning, to be fair. Shouldn't leave that out because this is just Dave McCaig and Russ Wotton on the lettering. I mean, all this stuff, it just all fits, on the lettering side actually. This character's drunk and don't we know it right away just by adding these little bubbles. Nice stuff. Really nice stuff, this. And then we're back, so that's back at in the village where our main characters come from, but we don't think we see much of the main character in this, if anything. No, I don't think we do. This is all about the baddies. This is the bad guys behind the scene. This is behind the scenes with the bad guys. We had it last issue, and this it kind of comes to, it kind of gets to a crescendo this issue. Look at it, this artwork and colouring. Stunning. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I really do. And this, you know, this is a character that's rejecting. That's the wife of the bad guy. This is the bad guy rejecting the blue juice. I don't want to spoil it if you're going to pick up the graphic novel of this, which will be well worth it. I think I've done issue 1 of this, and again, look at this stuff. That gives you a clue to what the blue juice is all about, but I'll let you find out more on your own. And then we've got the daughter of the bad guy who's been witness last issue and this issue to what is actually going on in the palace. Here's a little kind of pet who she talks to, and all he does, which is quite a nice bit of light relief, all he does, where's his little little snuff? And she goes, and she's talking to him, no, Father won't be happy about me taking his carpet. And all he says is snuff, a bit like I'm Groot, really. But a nice tiny bit of light relief in what is essentially a really dark fantasy story, which I'm really enjoying. And that was in contention for the book of the week. And so was this. Now this, everybody, if you didn't already know from any one of my other videos, this is how I like my Batman done. Look at this. This is exactly how I like it done. And that's it. And it's got the little it's got the Bill Sienkiewicz ears and cape, which was I don't know whether that's a nod or whether that's the artist's style. I don't know the artist's work until this issue of the book, so he might have done other stuff. But we are inside. I mean, Batman is still affected by the what's it called? The not arson, that's the name of the bloke. The asthma. He's affected by this asthma that's making him live in a nightmare. And this guy's saying, well, and he's in prison now because he's succumbed to it. But not, he hasn't really succumbed to it, not properly. This you know, our bad guy Arson is just incredulous about how Batman hasn't, but we know that Batman's stronger. Look at this dark, moody stuff. He's in prison underneath Arkham Asylum, which is derelict now. Here we go. I wonder who this is. This character here, he's part of the cult or the clan, whatever you want to call them, the family business that has imprisoned Batman, and he's telling Catwoman. I mean, I don't know how. I'm not up much on the Gotham War that's just finished, so I don't know. Like, he's basically saying, look, I know where Batman is. Here we go. Jason Sean Alexander is the artist. Brilliant. Well done. Ram V, as always. I do enjoy most of what he does, if not all. Dave Stewart, as always, a stalwart of the a beautiful colourist. Anyway, so he tells Catwoman, and off she goes, because they're going to hang him in 3 days. They're going to publicly hang Batman. They're not going to unmask him. They're good because they want to hang the legend. They don't want to hang who's behind the mask. They want to hang the legend, kill the legend. So Catwoman, I'll put my new teeth in. Catwoman is getting a crew. Look, is a crew. I need a crew. So she goes to Gordon, explains what's going on, and then look who it isn't. And that's done nicely as well. Again, this is how you like your Batman, guys. This is how I like my Batman comics. This is a great art job, and it is very reminiscent. It's a kind of like a mix of stuff like this is like Sam Keefe, and then other bits is like Bill Sienkiewicz. So I'm going to love the artwork all day long. So Gordon goes after Montoya, but she says, obviously, all he's saying is, can you watch my back? Because obviously for them to arrange to hang the Batman in public in 3 days' time, you know, we all know there's going to be some higher ups involved. So he's saying, can you protect my back? Look at this. And guess where Catwoman's gone? She's off to not get Poison Ivy, but she just wants something from Poison Ivy. And I love the way they've done. The last time I kind of see all this kind of stuff done, which is when John Totalben and Steve Bissett were on Swamp Thing. I was going to say Man Thing then, Swamp Thing, and they would do all of this beautiful, they properly make. Not sure. I mean, they just about get away with it. I think just about without making her look ugly, because I think she should always be a beautiful kind of to represent, the flora and fauna, as it were. And there's like an odd couple of. I wish that had carried on for longer, to be fair, but nevertheless, these couple of stories at the back, just quickly. The question, I don't know how that's going to tie in. By Dan Waters and Christopher Mitten, decent art job. But this one I've just got to show you. Good old Liam Sharp doing Azrael. Oh, yeah. Absolute madness as always with Liam Sharp's artwork. Just great stuff. I just love this stuff. I just wanted to show. Look, imagine Liam Sharp on a detective comic series, Batman. Loving it, love it. So that was also in contention for book of the week, and there was, like I say, there was 3 of them. Absolutely, I know I've said it before, and I'm kind of gushing again. Part 4 of this storyline. Last month we saw him, plunged into the depths, and he's being dragged down by all the tendrils and that. And he has a moment, Conan, and this beautiful artwork that just takes you straight back in time to the 70s. Must have been late 70s, early 80s of John Buscema's artwork. I've got to say it out loud. But that is no bad thing at all. And he's kind of has this, not a vision, he kind of has a moment at the bottom of the swamp wherever he is. With, of all things, now I wondered if this was a tie-in with any of the other Robert E. Howard characters, because he's met this Pict, and I think he was the he wasn't the king, he was the I don't know, he was like the second in command for the king, or the general of the king's army, whatever it was. And the name Brawl, Brule, I don't know why it rang a bell. I mean, I've got collected Robert E. Howard works, but in the back of these comics, they do have a little glossary or little essays by about Robert E. Howard, and it does say that, yeah, he's connected. So they've done a nice little. Basically, what I'm trying to get at with my waffle, look at that, is the fact that they've connected this Pict character from other Robert E. Howard stories into Conan, which I just thought was a real nice touch. I think he was in the Cole storylines. But anyway, if you buy the comic, you can read the full details of the essay. But I just thought it was a nice touch. And this issue, full of action, full of sword and sorcery, which, do you know what, is what it should be. And I've got to say, action packed. As soon as he comes out, he's exhausted. He's got a new sword, blah blah, and write our song in steel. That's Conan all day long. The everything about this, everything about it is spot on. This is a tour de force by the writer and the artist. Well, everyone involved. Just absolute. This will definitely go down as a classic, and that is my book of the week. Again, I think issue 1 was as well, but like I say, just pick those other 2 to the post. Now let's get on to these. I know these aren't new, but like I say, I do want to give a shout out to this company, because the 2 bits I picked up, and I'm going to try out some more Blue Fox comics, and look who they've got. So they're doing something right to be picked up by Top Cow. That's all I can say. And this was a real nice Simon Burks, who I met, who signed my copy. He's one of the founders of Blue Fox Comics. They've been going a few years, and like I say, I will put my hand up and say I'd never come across them before, and they deserve a wider audience. This was, like I said about the Red Light issue 1, when it's a nice opener and it goes in a way that you don't expect it to go. This is exactly the same. This just introduces us to one of our main characters and how she, well, just her background. And this is a nice art job as well. And, you know, putting all this stuff together when you haven't got, you know, people like Titan Publishing and Marvel and people behind you. When these packages this is just a real nice, a nice storyline. I was intrigued by the character all the way along. Just, you know, you weren't rolling your eyes because it's a woman or anything like that. It was just spot on. And like I say, it doesn't. Where it's just a character study, you're not sure of where it's going to go. But where it does go, I've got to say, this is nice. And he gets on with it. Like the story, just it gets on with it. You know, it's almost like a potted life story, all in one issue of one of our main characters, and how she gets on. You know, just one page. Right, this is what she did. Lovely. Get on with it. And I really enjoyed it for that aspect, because what this issue's doing is kind of taking us to the end. Is going to be another main character, because there's a little character pages at the back. Got to say, nice colouring job on this, going from that to the, you know, obviously the red lights coming on and blah blah, going outside, danger, you know, stuff like this. So like I say, well impressed with this issue 1, and I do want the next issue. And obviously you get more of the story and where they leave it from reading it. So here we go, there's the team, here's our character sketches. I like all this stuff. I like, you know, characters to come. So, I like that as well. So, that is, like I say, Blue Fox Comics. I will leave the link on the main page. So, yes, brilliant. Love it. Obviously, it's under the Top Cow thingy bob. And the guy who did the colour, I think he did the colouring, Lyndon White, is it? I will just double check. Lyndon White done the lettering and cover B for that, for Antartica, issue 1. I think like I say, I think it's 5 or 6 issues in, but you can check it out. Now, sorry guys, because this is like a square band format, I can't really do a deep dive, but this, and it's kind of aimed at the younger readers, but what this reminded me of was a mix between the film Wall-E and Watership Down. And like I say, where I can't flatten the glare off the pages and it's all dark. But again, this guy is obviously written, and I really did enjoy this. I assume it's aimed at, or you know, it's for a younger reader. So I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. Like an unusual, quirky art style that suited the storyline. It didn't detract from it. And like I say, he done the lettering. So it's a nice, tight-knit team, it appears, at Blue Fox Comics. And I will be trying out more of their stuff. And like this character here, obviously, basically the premise is all the stars have gone out and this robot's got, you know, it's their adventures. So, again, recommending that. If you kind of go for, you know, you don't always have to have the dark, like, you know, I've just said how I like my Batman, but you can't read that kind of stuff all the time. And this kind of comes along, and it's a nice breath. God, I really have to get them new teeth in. Breath of fresh air. Because you can't stay in the dark all the time, can you? See what I did there? Oh, the darkness of Batman to all the stars. Oh, I didn't even plan that either. I'm really good, aren't I? I'm really, really good. Anyway, let's get on with cover of the week rather than my crappy jokes. So, right, cover of the week. Imagine if you was that youngster, pocket money. What we're going to do? We've only got enough pocket money. We're in front of that spinner, and we've only got enough pocket money for one comic. Now, This isn't going to be cover of the week because, well, it could well be because of the beautiful artwork, but it's a variant and it's a crap comic. I mean, should that really disallow it? You let me know if that should disallow it, either being a variant or a crap comic. I suppose being a crap comic shouldn't disallow it. It can still be cover of the week, can't it? I'm actually having a debate with myself on air. Should have thought about all this before. Now this, anyway. And that, come on. That just says it all, I think. And that harks back to the old cartoons, doesn't it? Just before Wile E. Coyote would drop down a canyon. So that just puts a smile on my face, all of that. That, for action-packed, does what it says on the tin. You know, you've got a weird Iron Man, you've got Captain America, you've got Thor, you've got this weird character who is in fact Doctor Doom, but you don't know that unless you're going to read the comic. Oh, sorry for that. I've just got to reach behind all the blooming... Conan. I mean, I think that if you're going to buy a sword and sorcery comic, that says it all, I think. But not the most action-packed. And again, not the most action-packed detective comics, but it does give you it all. Like, it does set the mood for what's inside, which is the nightmare. I mean, look at these vultures, but they're skeletal vultures. It does kind of set the mood for what's inside. You know, you've got Gotham City at night, you know, behind it all. It's a very I thought that was a very well accomplished piece of artwork, to be fair. And then obviously, if you're going to sell a comic called Red Light, well, you might as well do that, mightn't you? You might as well be cheeky. See what I did there? Oh, I've got to stop doing that anyway. I don't know, I must be in one of those moods. But you know, again, it's a decent cover for the comic, for the story inside, but it's not exactly going to bring you to the, well, it'll bring you to the spinner, won't it? But that'd probably be in a polythene bag. Again, Batman, Detective Comics, not action packed. Conan, I think's got to stay there. I think White Widow's got to stay there. We'll get rid of Negadark. All right then, all right. So between these two, I mean, now I've kind of, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm a traitor. Somehow inside, deep inside, it's going to hurt. That's a stunning piece of artwork that would take you to the spinner, no doubt about it. But do you know what? I'm going to award Ultimate Universe for the cover of the week because I think it's got it all going on with all the heroes we love, and Thor's hammer's all lit up, and yeah. And I think if you're going to sell an Ultimates comic, then you've got to put them all on the cover, certainly on issue 1. So yeah, I'm going to give cover of the week to that. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Sorry if it was a little bit long. I don't know if I've dragged on this week. Have I droned on? Yeah, I think I might have droned on a little bit longer than normal this week, guys. So anyway, but I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, until next week, I will bid you all adios.